All right, let's look at the pitching matchup for tomorrow's series opener. Cubs open up a 7-game homestand against the Pirates. Jake Arrieta looks for 17th win. He'll take on Steven Brault, making his 3rd big league start. He gets Garrett Cole's spot, Holly. Cole dealing with elbow soreness. Last time out, Arrieta 8 scoreless in San Diego.
Oh, Jake's had a fantastic season, and I really do believe he is leading the Cy Young conversation. You see the record, you see the ERA, and he's in a great spot. Think back to his last start. You saw a lot of fastball usage. I think that is still the case. He is kind of building, kind of getting back to what we saw early on in the year. And we've talked about, some of the struggles and some of the shorter outings this year where the walks show up occasionally. I thought the last 2 starts really where you see that fastball come in and then kind of building off of that. I think that's exactly where he's going to go with this, especially against this Pirates team that's playing pretty good baseball. They went up into Milwaukee where they do not play particularly well and had a good weekend series. And they've got a pretty decent offense, but you're going to watch him use that fastball. And as I talk about kind of splitting the middle of the plate and letting that ball work to the corners, look to see Jake doing that as well. And again, that cutter working into it.
All right. Sportsnet Central with Layla Rahimi is coming up next. Thank you for watching. Cubs Postgame brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Well, thank you very much, David. A late inning mistake cost the Cubs at Chavez Ravine. Hello and welcome to Sportsnet Central, presented by Comcast Business. I'm Layla Rahimi. We'll break down the Cubs' loss to the Dodgers in just a moment. Has Carlos Rodon come around? The Red Hot Sox pitcher looks to keep his winning ways going. Plus, the Bears' regular season roster takes shape. It was cut down day at Hallis Hall, and we hear a broadcasting legend call the Cubs and Dodgers game. It is all on Sportsnet Central, starting now.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by Comcast Business.
The Cubs have won all 7 of John Lester's last 7 starts, and he got the nod for the Cubs in their series finale against the Dodgers. Lester and the Cubs facing Normal, Illinois native Brock Stewart on the mound for the Dodgers, and early on, both pitchers were throwing their best stuff. Stewart started the game off striking out Dexter Fowler and went on to strike out 3 more in the first 2 innings. But Lester matched the young righty, mowing down 4 Dodgers on strikes as well. Both starters were baffling hitters early. That went in the 3rd. Chicago's fans received a special treat from the legend.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Sunday afternoon to you, wherever you may be. We're at Dodger Stadium looking at your Cubs as they battle the Dodgers. It's an honor, a privilege, and kind of a kick to know that we're being heard in the area that roots so hard for the Cubs. So we'll try for Joe Madden and all the great guys we know in Cub uniform to give you a pretty good 3rd inning. Lester, a look. Left-handed deals, big chopper to shortstop, Russell quickly to second base. They turn it to first, and just like that, the Cubbies get the double play. Hey, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed being with you. Oh, I know. Somebody's going to say, hey, did you hear Scully? The other guy say, yeah, what's a big deal? Well, it was a big deal for me. I loved it. And at the end of 3, no score.
That's just awesome. Vin Scully. 6th inning, the Cubs keep it coming. Chris Bryant starts it off. He rips a double into the right center gap, his 31st of the year. But the Cubs cannot capitalize. Jason Hayward rips a line drive. It goes right into Adrian Gonzalez's glove. Cubs strand runners in back-to-back innings. We are still scoreless. To the 8th, Trevor Cahill on the mound for the Cubs, facing Howie Kendrick. A soft grounder back to the pitcher, but Cahill throws it away. That is a costly error, putting men on 2nd and 3rd. They would intentionally walk a batter to load the bases, and in comes Carl Edwards Jr. He gets Adrian Gonzalez to hit a grounder to Javi Baez at 3rd. Baez hesitates on the throw and then goes to 2nd. Zobrist out of position. Everyone's safe, and the Dodgers score. They would review the play, but again, ruled safe as the Dodgers take the 1-0 lead off of 2 Cubs errors in the 8th. And that would be the difference. The Cubs can't score in the 9th and get shut out by the Dodgers in L.A. They lose 1-0. So Joe Blanton, who allowed one of Chris Bryant's home runs in this series, gets the win. Trevor Cahill is charged with the loss. The Cubs get only 4 hits from just 2 people. In Bryant and in Hayward, they are now 82 and 47. So for more, let's send it to our post-game live crew. It is David Kaplan and Todd Hollingsworth.
All right, thank you, Layla. Let's talk about John Lester. He has been locked in 6 consecutive quality starts, and he really looked good. Velocity was ticking up at 95.
Yeah, he did. He dialed it up a few times again today. Yeah, so we saw a little bit of the velocity there. Certainly no John can go get it, but he doesn't have to. Again, he's really good at 92, 93, especially with the movement. The one thing I did pick up on, you watched him, that 95 was with purpose at the top of the zone more times than not. But when he wants to get down on the zone and keep the ball in the corners, you see that 92, 93. So very, very important to keep an eye on that. But again, you know, for me in John Lester, I always think it's the bag of tricks. I mean, he just does such a fantastic job of not falling into patterns. I talk about it all the time. I talk about it over at MLB Network. You know, you watch pitchers attack hitters, and typically through the course of a game, if you get 3 at-bats against a guy, there's going to be a form of a pattern there that as a hitter you can pick up on. But John just really, really does a good job that first time through the lineup, establishing the fastball, maybe working in that hard slider. By the time you get to the 3rd at-bat, you got a slow curveball coming and a changeup to Adrian Gonzalez. I mean, that's just it. He is a mix and match guy with great stuff. So you've watched, he's been in a good routine here in the second half. And again today, I feel like we're talking almost repetitively. 6 innings, no earned runs. 6 innings, 1 earned run. You know, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts. John Lester's locked in right now. It's almost as if he's good to go, ready to go in September.
All right, let's talk about the Javi Baez play. It's the game-changing play. It's the only run that scores in the ballgame. Right. And it looked like maybe this is a bit of a tired team. They've been on the road for an extended time. Yeah. But Javi looked like he relaxed on the play and didn't really have any anticipation or sense of urgency.
Kappa's play has got to be made, plain and simple. Let's just cut to the chase here. Adrian Gonzalez is your batter runner, your hitter, puts the ball in play. He's the slowest runner on the bases right here. This is a simple one-hop, throw ball across the diamond with his arm. Javi's got one of the best arms for our infield for really anybody around baseball. He's got a great cannon. This play doesn't happen. Whether we see it, and again, we can't see where Ben Zobrist is. We could make the argument or the case that he didn't get there. Maybe the positioning was there. But when you consider that you've got Seager at first base, good runner with a lead and 2 outs, there's no way that you're going to second base on that play. That ball is across the diamond before that ball is even put in play. That is pre-pitch preparation. That's understanding what's going on, who your runner is. That's a plain and simple throw across the diamond and get the slowest runner on the field, Adrian Gonzalez.
All right, Jake Arrieta to the bump on Monday evening. Steven Brault will go for the Pirates in place of Garrett Cole, who's dealing again with injury problems to his elbow on his pitching arm. For Todd Hollingsworth, I'm David Kaplan. Let's go back to you, Layla.
And before today's game, Joe Maddon gave an update on John Lackey, saying the Cubs starter will throw 2 bullpen sessions before returning from the disabled list. There is no set date for his return. Mike Montgomery will continue to take his spot in the rotation and will start on Wednesday against the Pirates. And speaking of the Pirates, you heard Kaplan say it. Jake Arrieta is starting the series opener at Wrigley tomorrow night. We have the game for you right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Join me for Bases Loaded at 6:30. Sportsnet Central is at 6. And then Len and JD have the call from the friendly confines at 7. So let's check in on those Pirates looking to break out the brooms in Milwaukee at Miller Park, top 6. Pittsburgh down 1. John Jaso changes that. It is gone. Deep to right field. That is a tie ball game. 2 batters later. Gregory Polanco smokes a laser to right. That gets out in a hurry. His 20th of the season, 2-1 Buccos. And then in the 8th, Starling Marte. Some insurance. That is a solo shot to right center as the Pirates celebrate their first 4-game sweep in Milwaukee, 3-1. To Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Cardinals hosting the A's in the first inning. No score. Chris Davis with a runner on. And he goes deep to right field. That's his 34th home run of the season. The A's are off to an early 2-0 lead. So to the 3rd inning, A's up 2-1. 2 on, 2 out for Stephen Vogt. He gets one right down Main Street and crushes it. Athletics beating the Cardinals 7-4. St. Louis has now dropped 4 of its last 6 games. Their lead is now only half a game in the NL wildcard standings. So let's take a look at those standings. The Giants and Cardinals hold the top 2 spots. Pirates just a half game out. Marlins now 1.5 back, and the Mets are 2.5 out, even though they're just 66 and 64. Coming up on Sportsnet Central, Carlos Rodon has been riding a hot streak. He tried to keep it going as the White Sox play the Mariners. And the Bears make their first round of roster cuts. And as bad as the offense looked against the Chiefs yesterday, we will give you a reason for optimism. That is when Sportsnet Central returns.
Sportsnet Central brought to you by Comcast Business. Comcast Business, built for business.
Your business needs a lot of speed, but getting it doesn't have to break the bank. Introducing the Comcast Business Summer Savings Event. Now you can get a lot for a little as a cup of coffee and donut a day. Fast internet speed to drive performance, plus cutting-edge Wi-Fi for your employees and customers, and voice mobility so your calls find you wherever you are. Get some of